Hey guys, it's Johnny time, and today we're going to be looking at Bridge of Death, which is going to be the last normal level of the Hell biome. So let's begin. As you can see right off the bat, compared to the other two levels, there seems to be a lot more visual fidelity in this level, and that's because the team has really taken to heart the feedback of trying to make the game more visually appealing for the audience, and I think they've done like a really good job with what we have available. So like compared to like the other previous two levels, you can see that like the ground here is a lot more detailed, and also like the environments around are a lot more like detailed, and because it used to be a lot more flatter, but now you can see the edges. Like for example on this wall, where previously there would be no edges, and like the stone here is more distinct. So I think this is definitely the correct direction to go in terms of trying to bring more visual flair to the level without hitting on the performance side, that's for sure. So in terms of the Bridge of Death itself, the only thing I can say that might be a negative in terms of the visual fidelity is that this level is really red. Like I was a bit taken aback of beating it. Well, I was taken aback by just how nice it looked, but also like you can tell that there's like a lot of red lighting, and I'm okay with it. Like it took me like a bit to get used to it, but now I'm okay with it. But I feel like maybe some people will be maybe a bit off-putting with like the amount of, I guess, the red like tinge with the lighting, because the lighting is not. It's not natural light. It's definitely got a red filter on it, so I'm not sure how people will feel about that. But obviously you are in hell, so it makes sense that everything is like really red like this. So I guess that will be just more of a point of discussion than more direct feedback. The other thing I wanted to point out now that as we're approaching here, I'll take out this tank, is that some of the mine placements might be a bit frustrating for some players. Like for example, I'm actually going to hug the left wall here, and then you'll see that there's a mine here, and like, you know, it blows up. But obviously I knew about it, so I can avoid it. But also like for a first time player, it might be a bit annoying, because if there might be here, well, they'll quite naturally be here because they'll be trying to, you know, like go in and out. You'll see the tank and they'll try and take cover to try and shoot it. But then obviously, because you're taking cover, like they will activate the mine and it will blow up and either destroy your shield or kill the player. So like I've mentioned it before, those like points of mines being in places you can't easily see, that's definitely a point of discussion, because it's not very clear like how the player will feel about it. Maybe some players will be okay with it, or some players might be a bit more frustrated with that mechanic. As you can see over here, this is definitely a point of feedback, which is the fact that these guys need to be down here instead of there. I'm guessing this is just a byproduct of the fact that with the visual upgrade to the level, these guys the platform used to be higher, and so if they lowered the platform, these guys stayed where they were previously and haven't been moved yet, so that's definitely going to need some of that. But yeah, for now I'm just going through the enemies and continuing through the level. One thing I did want to mention is the fact that for this level, this is the level that leads up to a boss, the hell boss for this biome, but currently the way you get to it is not through a secret entrance, but it's through just by finishing the level normally. So there's no like off the beaten path thing to do to get to the boss, which I'm not sure if that goes against our game design philosophy, because obviously Cornucopia, you get there by going directly through the level and not by going, you know, through some secret exit. So but all the other bosses, when you're like going along the path, they have their own, you know, secrets that you have to find. So I'm not sure if it's just if there's no hard set rule on the fact that, oh, you know, some bosses can be found by normally going through the level, or some bosses are more secret bosses. So that's definitely something that needs a bit of discussion, but mostly just clarification. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you get to the boss naturally, but obviously with some bosses you need to find them, and some bosses you can get through get to them by naturally progressing through the levels, then it's just something to clarify more than anything. I was scared there for a second that my shield might get disrupted from this tank over here. And also, that's actually a good point. This is the only tank which has that design and not the Hell design. So that's probably more of an oversight, because you don't really see that tank again throughout the levels. It's these yeah, as I said before, Hell designs, which I like the fact they called them Object 666s. Little reference there to the Object Soviet tanks. But I can't remember one off the top of my head, but of an actual number. I think this Object 2030U is a normal Soviet tank, but unfortunately I'm not a huge tank expert, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it now. We'll not just do a simple Google search. But yeah, just going through this level. I mean, there's not much else until the end of the level. It's just, you know, getting through this part here. Then once you get through this alleyway, it's to not get blown up by the mines here. We can use this mine to... we can't actually kill this guy with this mine, but I can just take him out normally, thankfully, so it will not be that big of an issue. Just do that. Let me actually just go back to reload. There's also the fact with the catapults haven't been adjusted yet. When I said last time about the feedback of them being launched, but I think from here actually you can hear it being chucked at. I think, maybe not. Maybe that's just the sound of the catapult just throwing out its boulders. So, but I want to mention again since I mentioned it in the previous video. So, yep, it's pretty much just a straight line to the finish from here. There are some lines here which can catch you off guard if you're not going to the right side, because if you're hugging the left side, then the mines will destroy you. Again, I'm not sure exactly how you guys will feel about that, because it's a bit hard to see them from that angle. But it's obviously something to make the level harder, because you can't use the wall for cover, you have to walk around it. So, as I mentioned previously, that's going to be another point of discussion for the guys. So yeah, pretty much it's just a matter of shooting these guys. And then you're just going to go across this bridge, then on the left there's going to be like 3 more enemies, so I'm just going to do that real quick. There's ammo. Let's get rid of them. I'm just going to stand back, just in case one of them tries to shoot me down. And yeah, that's the end of the level. And like, as I mentioned previously, if it were to, at the current state, if it were to continue, it would be the boss level. I'm not sure if that's completely intentional. So yeah, I'm actually very happy with what we've done with the visual fidelity. I do think the level looks a lot better and a lot more visually appealing now. So that's a very big plus. As I said previously, there was those floating cannons. There was that one tank which didn't look like the Hell tank was the sorry about that. And also maybe just looking a bit at maybe some of the mine placements, and maybe like, I don't know about the lighting effect. Like, I think it's fine, the lighting effect, but maybe some people won't like it, but that's another point of discussion. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.